Hello, this is Keir from Shopify. Welcome to our partners webinar. Today we'll be chatting with Matthew Freeman from Wildbit, who's kindly agreed to come on and talk about deploying Shopify themes, particularly with Beanstalk and Deploybot. You may be familiar with their product. We had a guest post from his colleague Shane earlier this year on May 5th, all about using Git to simplify Shopify theme deployment. So there's two parts to this demo, I guess. After the first part, you can submit questions, or I should say you can submit questions through the chat window, and we'll field those across to Matthew after the first part and also after the second part. If we don't have time to answer them all, we're going to collate those and sort of ask the guys at Wildbit to answer them, and we'll put those together in a blog post on the shopify.com/partners/blog site. So first of all, I would like to thank the guys at Wildbit for agreeing to do this. We hope you guys find it useful. And I know from speaking to partners that deployment and workflow is a big issue, especially when you're working in small to medium teams. So, yep, we're really grateful for you guys to do this webinar with us. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Matthew, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the presentation.
Thanks, Kier. It's great to be here, and I'm glad that you guys could have us do this webinar with you. My name, as Kier said, my name's Matthew Freeman. I'm a customer success champion at Wildbit, and I mainly work on Deploybot and Beanstalk, but we also have one more email product called Postmark. So today what we're going to be covering is why you should use version control with Shopify. We're going to set up the Shopify and Beanstalk solo workflow for your solo devs out there, and then we're going to set up a Shopify and Deploybot team workflow, and we're going to talk about how to use Shopify development stores in both those workflows. So first of all, why should you use version control with Shopify themes? Shopify is very simple, and some people think, well, why I'm just messing with this theme? Why should I have to use version control? And the answer is there are lots of reasons. One of them is you can make changes with confidence. This means that if you need to make a change on your theme, you can make that change, commit it to your version control, and then if it turns out that it wasn't such a good change, you can revert that immediately. And if you didn't have version control, it's a little harder to do that. If you're on a team, version control is great because you can understand all the code that's being written on your entire repository, where it's being written, who's doing it, when all those commits happen. You can see who's working, who's not working. It's pretty great. Another really awesome feature is that you can experiment with new features or designs without having to interfere with any of your current working code. So if you have a live store up and you want to make some design changes, but you're not sure how they're going to look or how they're going to work yet, you can create a branch and deploy that to a development store and fiddle around and make sure everything's going to work. And then once you've decided everything's good, you can merge that branch back in and deploy that to your main live store. So for the solo developer workflow, what we're going to do is show you how to set up Beanstalk with Shopify. We're going to make some theme changes to a Shopify store, push those changes to Beanstalk, and then deploy all those changes back up to Shopify. We're also going to show you how to roll back a deployment in case something goes wrong, and something always will go wrong at some point, so this is a good thing to know. And we're going to talk a little bit about Shopify development stores and how they work with Beanstalk. So let me pull up. I'll show you my super simple live store here. As you can see, I only have one product with no image. And what I want to do today is I want to add an image in between right here just to show you guys what we can do with Beanstalk and Shopify. So this is going to be a very simple change. So I'm going to show you I already have a repository set up here in Beanstalk, the WB Coffee House Live Store. When you first log into Beanstalk and you need to get your repository from Shopify, you'll click this Fetch from Shopify button, and you enter in your shop name here. Maybe it's My Awesome Shop, and then you click this Fetch Credentials from Shopify button. And what that does is bring you to Shopify and allows you to log in, and then Beanstalk will pull all the information from Shopify and create a repository and a deployment environment automatically for you. You can also use your API key or your API password if you want to do that instead of having Beanstalk fetch that information for you. Since I've already set up my store, I'm going to go back, and I have this existing repository, and I'll show you all the different folders. This is what Beanstalk pulls out from Shopify. And what we're going to be looking at today is in the templates, the index page. And when you want to make a change to your theme, normally you'll do it locally and then push that change back up to Beanstalk and then deploy it to Shopify. But you can also do this right within Beanstalk. And that's what I'm going to do on this one because it's such a simple change. So let me go into this index page, and you can see nice little preview of your page here. Click Edit, and now we're in edit mode, and so anything we do can be changed in here. So let me insert in my image here, and this is a mascot for our store. And now in order to commit this change, I need to write a commit message, added a new mascot image. And we're going to commit these changes and let Beanstalk do his thing. It says this index has been successfully updated, and so if we go back to the activity, we have a new commit here that I added the new mascot image. Now what we want to do is deploy this up to Shopify. So I go to my deployments here, and you'll see I have two separate deployment environments in Beanstalk. This one is for my live store, and this is for a staging environment or development store. I'm going to go ahead and deploy this to a live store. So I'll go in here, and you can see the servers here. This is what Beanstalk automatically sets up for you based on your Shopify URL. And you can change any of the names or anything if you want to call this simply maybe live store. If you have more than one theme on your store, you can choose which theme you want to launch and which you want to deploy to. I'm going to save these changes so it'll save the name. You can see it save the name of the environment. So we want to go ahead and deploy that change. So click the deploy button here, and as you can see, it's our latest commit that's getting changed and deployed. Review that, and this is the commit range that's going to be deployed. And if we want to preview the files, this shows you every single file that's going to be deployed up to Shopify. Right now we only have the one change in the one file. You can change the commit message here if you want to, the deployment message. I don't need to, so I'm going to start the deployment. And as you can see, it's in the queue. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. It's a very simple deployment, and as you can see, it's already finished. So let's go over to the store, and there it is, a picture of our new mascot, the Wonder Woman pug. Now let's say someone contacted me and said, hey, I don't like that picture. You need to roll that back. We don't want to have that deployment. Well, let's do that. It's very simple in Beanstalk. You go to deploy again, and you can pull down your commits right here. And you can see this is the last commit I made was add a new mascot. I want to roll back to this last one where I had a test comment. And so what this will do is roll us back and put this deployment up to our Shopify store and remove that wonderful image of the Wonder Woman pug. And as you can see, it's deployed, and now the image is gone. So what I want to talk about now is if you have any questions so far about any of the Beanstalk deployments.
We don't actually have any questions coming in. I think you've done a fantastic job there of explaining that. I'll keep an eye on it, and if we have any at the end, so if you people out there listening have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat window in GoToWebinar. and we'll bring those together after the next section. So yeah, please pipe up if you have a question. Cheers.
All right, sounds good. Let's go on to this next section. We're going to talk about doing a team development workflow, which is probably how a lot of you work. We're going to set up DeployBot and Shopify using teams and a development store, and we're going to make changes to your theme, push to a version control host, deploy those changes up to Shopify, and then show you how to roll back a deployment. So let's start. I'll show you this. I have my development or staging store up. It's pretty much exactly the same as my live store. And for this demo, we're going to log into DeployBot. Now, DeployBot is purely a deployment-based product. So I've already set up my repository here. And with DeployBot, you can use GitHub or Bitbucket or basically GitLab or any version control sort host that you want. I have mine set up on Beanstalk because it was already set up there and it was easy for me to do. But you can use GitHub or Bitbucket. They both work really well. So what I want to do is we want to make another change to our staging store this time. And again, I'm just going to add a simple image to this to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to do it locally this time, and I need to show you what we have for this staging store. So one of the great things about DeployBot is that you can deploy your same repository, your same theme to both the live and a development store. And what you can do is have a separate branch. And what I've done is created a staging branch here so that any changes I make for this development store happen on this staging branch and don't affect my live store. So I can, play around with a theme or add images or whatever I need to do without disturbing any of this live store. So you'll see when I switch over to my local development environment here that I'm working off a staging branch, and that's what gets deployed to this development store. So let me switch over to Sublime here, and we will find the same index page for that staging store, and we're going to enter in another image here, another mascot image of a great mascot, and save that. And you'll see our Git status here is that I'm on the staging branch and I have this one unstaged change. And I'm going to go ahead and stage that and commit it. And my commit message is added another awesome mascot image. All right, and now we've committed that, and I'm going to switch over here to the command line so you guys can see what's going on. As you can see, I'm on the staging branch. If you look at the status, I have one commit that's ready to be deployed. So I'm going to go ahead and push to that staging branch. And I guess I need to figure out my username for this, which is going to be all right. Hopefully that's the right one. And oh, looks like it didn't get pushed. Oh. Hold on for just a minute while I pull these changes down. All right. Oh, well, it's not pushing. Well, we'll pretend that it pushed. Let's see. We need to pull these in. Okay, well, I'm going to pretend that pushed to the staging store. So what will happen is this will show up on the staging store, and you'll see in your staging environment you have a commit here, and if you like before, if we decided we need to roll that back, what we can do is go into the history here, and we can deploy, and you'll have a commit list here, and you can go back and add your full URL, which is the last commit that we wanted to deploy. Save that, and then you would deploy that deployment. And then when you go back to your staging store, you would see, oh, the file has been rolled back. The next part we would do, and I don't have this set up for today. It's a little bit difficult to do this, but if you have a development branch and a staging branch, what you can do, let me go back and show you here, on your environments, you make sure that you always have a master branch deployed on this live store, and you only work from that branch when you need changes for the live store. And for the staging store, you're going to do the staging branch. And that's all I have for today. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Cool, thank you ever so much, Matthew. We've had an attentive but quiet audience today, so I thought I'd pick your brains on a couple of things while I've got you on here, while your cold permits you to speak.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, so thanks for that great overview. I'm just intrigued. Why did you create this integration? I know you guys have been working on it a while. Was it born out of a lot of people who are using Beanstalk, sort of really asking for the Shopify integration, or what's the backstory? Because I think this is something that a lot of people have been crying out for.
We did have quite a few people asking for Shopify integration, and it was something that Dima had talked about doing for some time, and we just kept having more and more people ask for it, and we noticed that a lot of people were wanting to use the integration, but they weren't able to, so we went ahead and created that. And it's been we've had a super high adoption rate for a bunch of Shopify users using both Beanstalk and Deploybot. So we've been really, really happy with that.
No, that's brilliant. And maybe you could just explain a little bit about, obviously Beanstalk and Deploybot have paid plans, but there are some kind of plans you have out there where people can get started with maybe one repository. Is that correct? Or
Sure, that's right. Both Beanstalk and Deploybot have free plans. They're limited to one repository, but it's basically so you can kind of feel out how it works and get a repository set up and get things running. And if you only ever need to use one repository, the free plan is great. And, we like for people to have the choice to only have to use repository and not have to pay if they don't need to. But you can always upgrade, and you can get more repositories if you need.
And it's also great that you have a Git hosting service yourself, but you can integrate, as you said there, with other providers like GitHub or I guess self-hosted or.
Right. And we see a lot of people using GitHub and Beanstalk on Deploybot, and we're happy that the integration works out so well, because that means that if people don't want to use Beanstalk, they can use whatever they want, or sometimes people have to have self-hosted things for security reasons, so they can still use Deploybot.
Yeah, and although someone might prefer your service, they may be working with a client who has a GitHub repository that they want them to commit to and that kind of thing. So having that flexibility, I think, is really important. What are your thoughts on kind of we've talked about this when we were setting this webinar up, about if you're working in a big team, maybe having your own development store, and then kind of maybe having a staging store for sign off, and then obviously pushing to the live store. Have you talked to any kind of developers who are working on, I guess, bigger and more distributed projects? Have you any thoughts on how people could face that challenge?
We do. We have a team set up, and I'll be happy to show that. I have a team set up in this.
That'd be great. Yeah.
So if you go in here, I didn't want to have to do this live because you have to log in and log out.
Sure.
It's 2 or 3 different people. But what you can see here is in Deploybot, and this works the exact same way in Beanstalk. We have the same team set up. You have the account owner here, and then you have a project lead, and then a junior developer. And so what happens is, obviously, the account owner has access to every single repository. If you look at the project lead, they have access to this one repository, and they have full access to deploy to both the live and staging environment. So they can
Okay.
deploy to the live store. And then if the junior developer only has access to the staging or development store, so he can't go in and mess up the client's nice, pretty live store. Um, so the way that would work is the junior developer checks out the code, makes all his changes, and pushes it up to his whichever code hosting service they have. And then if he wants, he can deploy that to the staging store. And the project lead can take a look at that code, sign off on it, and then basically merge that branch into a master branch or a live branch, whatever they're using, and then deploy that to the live store.
No, I think that's a fantastic feature, and one that I think a lot of people have been hoping for a service like this for a long time. I'm guessing that a lot of people out there use one of the sync tools that we offer or that are available. There's one for the Mac, and there's a Ruby gem as well. So I think maybe they'll be making those changes, syncing to their own sort of personal development store, and then obviously they can commit and put it through that kind of code review process as well, which I think is really interesting. Do you have any kind of ways of reviewing the code on there? Is there any ways that obviously these different team members can communicate through this?
We do have a way on Beanstalk, and let me show. We have a nice code review section if it will load. The internet's a little slow today. So you can see, let me go to this. I have two branches set up here. We can start a code review on one of these. Actually, I'll just start it from this page. We can request a review for the staging branch, and we'll call it new changes, and then we can assign it to the project lead. And so what happens is anytime someone would make changes to the staging branch, it shows up in this review process. And so the project lead can come in, he can take a look at this code and say, oh, I see this, but let me make a comment on this that says, this is no good. And they can review this, and then once everything's finished, they can approve the review and have it automatically merge into a branch if they want to, or they can have it, they can manually merge it once everything's done, because I'm sure there'll be lots of steps that need to happen in the review. But you can open up some issues to the project lead and assign them to have the junior developer look at and change code and all that sort of thing. So
Brilliant.
we don't have this in Deploybot, but it is available in Beanstalk.
And can you do kind of auto deploys as well from obviously you initiated there a kind of a click deploy, for want of a better word, but can you hook in, I guess, hooks where just maybe the staging branch, if people are pushing, automatically gets deployed?
You can, and that's set up in the deployment environment. So for instance, the staging, which is our development store, in the settings environment here, there's a setting to do automatic or manual. And so you just flip that. It's literally just a button change and save it. So now every time a push comes up to that branch, it gets automatically deployed to the staging environment.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, we do have a very quiet crew of people who are listening. Hope that must mean we've covered everything, and they have no questions. But obviously, people may go away from this and have some thoughts or some queries. What's the best way for them to get in touch with yourself and your team?
They can contact us at either. I'll show this on the screen real fast. Support.beanstalk.app, support.deploybot.com, and we're available at those addresses. You can email us, you can get us on Twitter, and we have a live chat open, so we're always ready to take questions. Our customer success team is amazing. They know so much. I learn every day, and I learn stuff from our customers every day that use our products in ways that I never thought about. So please, if you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've really enjoyed learning more about what you guys are up to. And yeah, if anyone out there hasn't got into using source version control, the good place to start will be to have a look at Matthew's colleague Shane's blog post over on the Shopify.com partners blog, and we'll perhaps put a link out to that on Twitter right away. It's called Using Git, Simplify Shopify Theme Deployment. It goes into a lot of what we've seen today, but you can obviously digest that at your own time. There's also some links to getting started with Git if that's something that's new to you. It's one of those things that once you get into it, you'll wonder what you ever did without it. And there's also some video links to video tutorials on Git as well. So yeah, all that remains is to say thank you for everyone who took time out to join us on this webinar. We hope to do some more in the coming weeks and months. But please do let us know what you'd like to know more about on a technical level. If there's something that you're struggling with, or something that you'd like to share, maybe a technique or a way that you're working with themes, we'd love to hear about it. You can contact me. My name is Keir, Keir at shopify.com, and we can take it from there. But thank you so much, Matthew. I hope your cold gets better, and
Thank you.
you have a good day. And thanks for everyone who turned up, and we hope to see you all again soon. Cheers.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.